So you say you have trouble shallowing the swing, and I can see that you are coming over the top, aka not shallow. So this is your backswing, and then on your downswing, you're coming over that and way more steep. Another thing that might be contributing, because when you come over the top, the issue is you tend to hit slices. Another issue that might be making your balls go right and spin right is your face being open. One way I can tell is that, like, around here, it just looks like your club head is a little vertical. And if you were to get it to like match your spine angle a little bit, it would be a little more closed. At the takeaway, it's not so important, but at this point in the swing, you can see how cupped your wrist is. You can see that angle in your wrist, right, as you come down. That's called a cupped wrist. The opposite would be a bowed wrist. There are pros. Dustin Johnson's ones that come to mind, but I can show you a couple videos of others. Let me just show you. So here's Dustin Johnson, like I just said. He's famous for this. You can see that wrist there is like extremely bowed. But that would be an extreme. And in fact, the vast majority of professionals I see have just kind of a flat wrist and maybe the slightest bowed to it. So by doing that, what you're essentially doing is closing the face of the club, the way that translates to the club head. So if you try to keep that closed on the way down, it'll keep your face more closed, and you get less slice. Your backswing actually doesn't look bad. Like, your takeaway looks good. At this point in your swing, it looks pretty good. Your club is a little pointed here, like to the right of the ball. Generally, the rule is try to have the shaft pointing more like at the ball. So what that means is on your backswing, you might be a little bit shallow, and it might be because you're trying to compensate for coming over the top, so you have your backswing come a little more behind you. But the reality is that you should try to mimic this kind of shape, right? And so taking it back and then kind of coming over might make the over the top not have such a negative effect on the your shot. But you want to be a little more vertical with it, like that more, because then that actually allows you to drop the club and get shallow. So how do you do that? How do you get shallow on the downswing? You can see right here, this is the motion right there. You're on plane, and there it's just all happening right here. Your whole body just thinks like, I gotta smash down on this ball, which is a very standard thing. This is why most people suffer a slice, including myself. So a lot of people will say, try to hit the ball this way, or think about stuff at impact, hit it to right field, whatever. I think that that's not great, because the problem is happening all the way up here. So at this point, as you get in your back, the transition from your backswing to your downswing, you have to start thinking about bringing the club head around this way. And there's lots of ways to think about this. One could just be like dropping your hands that way, maybe this elbow that way, just thinking about, I'm gonna hit a hook. I'm really gonna kind of throw the club that way. But again, going back up this way. Don't go back this way and then hit a hook, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't go back super shallow and then try to hit a hook like that. Try to go up steep and then hit a hook. Like, get used to that feeling. What'll actually happen when you look at the video is you went up and back down pretty much the same way. This is what happens to most people, including myself. Because you're so used to this motion that when you try to do a big loop, you end up just kind of going like that. But it'll feel like you're doing that. One drill I've heard that I kind of like the feel of it is imagining there's like a big wall behind you, and your club needs to like rub against the wall on the way down. Because if you look right now, yours is coming more like here. So just kind of thinking about it, rubbing against the wall on the way down. Sometimes generally just thinking about, hitting an object over here. Some people will get an impact bag. It's just like a big bean bag that you hit with your club. And they'll put it like here. And on their downswing, they just try to smash into that as a warm-up. Because instead, like you're going more at the ball, you want to get the feeling of hitting like over here. Those are the drills that I think work the best. Like thinking about it at the very top of the backswing. Don't think about it on the way down. At that point, I think it's too late. So I would do that, and then think about that wrist. Just look up bowing your wrist. There's different drills for it. You can think about cupping, bowing this left wrist, like doing that with your left wrist. But another way is to think about this right arm kind of having this motion, this shape. Some people call it holding a tray, like you're holding a tray of food in your right hand. So you need that wrist to kind of come more flat. Because most people are, when you hit right-handed, you're usually a right-handed person. It's easier to think about your right hand doing something. I know that works for me better. So thinking about my right wrist kind of bending this way, and then my right wrist kind of throwing the club this way. I like to think about my right hand, but maybe for you it's both hands, left hand. Like I said, it could be the elbows. It could be a lot of things, but I think those two things in combination will get you hitting a lot straighter.